That is what we like to see. Okay. Hello. Don't look at my. I don't like that. You can't go much farther. What did my corner do? I guess I was moving over here too. That's what happens when you have all this extra stuff. Connect to your computer. I don't know if that's a good part for it to do that, but maybe. Sorry. Oops. Okay. What's this? Alright then. Alright. How is everyone? Welcome back. Well, I'm welcome back. I was gonna stream yesterday, but I didn't. I'm trying to do like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I don't know if I'll do anything Saturday because I didn't do anything yesterday, but I'm definitely gonna try and like get on in the evening every night for at least an hour. But I didn't because I was focused on painting and I kind of lost track of time. And then I was like, well, that's hot. I don't know. I could start a stream later in the evening, but I just don't see how that's going to be productive, you know? I guess, like, I'll be tired, you know? I don't know. I feel like I need to do it a little bit earlier in the day where I have some energy, but, like, not too late where I feel tired and I'm just kind of, like, sitting here. Do I need to push this back? That'd be easier for me. Eep! Sorry, I'm adjusting again. Because I like to sit in a certain way, and sometimes I adjust how I sit for the camera. And since I can move this, I feel like I should do that. Perfect. Alright. Anywho. Things to talk about. What do I want to talk about anyways right now? I feel like I've had a lot of stuff on my mind. It's hard to pick like one thing to stay focused on for too long. Because then I get like sidetracked by like other things I need to do. Or not need to do, want to do, right? Like I spent like a whole month just reading and figuring out stuff on like investing. And then like I kind of got into like a little accounting and like bookkeeping. And then I got into like a little bit of coding. And then I like keep going in and out of coding. Like I keep like dipping a toe. And I'm like, oh my god, that's so much. I don't know if I want to do that. But it looks so cool. I want to be able to make something. You just making apps and shit with coding and all the AI stuff that they're doing now. Do you know how complicated that is? But how cool would it be to be the person who made the AI? You know? I don't know. I kind of want to get into it, but I'm like, oof, that's so much work. It's a lot of things to learn. It might be worth it. I don't know, guys. I just like electronics. I wish they were made different. I've been reading the quantum book. The quantum debate book about Einstein and Dor. Is that how you say his name? Anyways. And, what was I saying? I just ran. I've been reading a book, Quantum Debate, Dor and Einstein, yeah. And it makes me more curious about it. And then I'm like realizing, this is like the same stuff that we use to make electronics work and shit like that. I'm just like, if I could understand this, I wonder if I could like change how electronics are made, like with what material. People are texting me. It's always funny whenever I get on like stream, I swear is when people text me. So like I try now, like people who I know have been texting me in the day, like I try and tell them like, I'm streaming, so that way they won't. But that doesn't really change. They normally text back and it's like, oh, okay, I'll talk to you later. Oh, how did you do this? I'm like, I have my screen is covered with your text messages. I need to wait for it to go away, otherwise it tries to click on it and then like it X's me out and ends my live, and it's a mess. But I don't know, I really want to answer that question. It's a question that keeps coming back in my head a lot. And for 2 years now, it feels like. And I just never felt like I could do that. I could make, if I wanted to. But reading this one book makes me feel like you just gotta understand a lot of small things. And then they click together. And it's like, then you just gotta write down what you're experiencing in a way that other smart people understand. Make a theory. And if you know enough people, that's the other thing. Why is everything networking? Goodness gracious, there's so many people in this world. So many. How are we keeping track of them all? We're not. Do we need to? Not really, but the more networking. You need to know this person to do this, you need to know this person to do that. I get it, because some of them are really smart and have good advice. But why is it so important about who specifically the person you know if we don't even care to track people like that? It's only like some people. And not always for good reasons. I made like this kind of like broccoli cheese soup with, what is quinoa? And I added some other vegetables, and it's actually pretty good. I was just talking about this last night with my friend. We were like texting. I had just finished making a meal and sent them a picture. It looked so good. I feel like I'm pretty good at taking food pictures, but it looked so good. It tasted really good too. And I was telling them, I feel like I always make the best food when there's like scraps left in the fridge and I'm just kind of like making sure nothing goes bad. But try to get me to do a recipe, guys. And I can't, like, I'm like, the recipe should be so refined that it should taste good and I shouldn't need to do anything different. And then that's never the flipping case. But whenever I try to make it and add things to make it taste good that I think would taste good with it, it turns out terrible. But if I make it the first time and I have the decent one, then I can add flavors to it after that and make it better. But that takes me many processes to like do, right? Videos, watch, YouTube things, like all that stuff to be able to get that. So the fact that my best food is literally like the end of all the recipe things that I wanted to try to make, it makes me wish there was like a fridge sharing refrigerator, because I think I would make best meals always if it was just food scraps. Like, and I don't even like scraps, you know, I'm just saying like you buy like a whole thing of broccoli for like one meal, and then you have to figure out how else to use it by either putting it in another meal or eating it like as a snack. And that is how this meal came around, right? Like, I'm gonna eat some as a snack, and like I put some of the broccoli in here, but I didn't want like broccoli cheese soup, couscous. I wanted like flavors. So I was like, oh, what other vegetables? And I don't have very many. My groceries are coming. If they should not be here, it's 5 to 6 when they'll get here. So, you know, I just feel like if I had a refrigerator that always had just like whatever things left over from meals, I could always make really good food. But that would be a weird refrigerator to have. And like, how are people putting stuff in it? There's a lot of questions that I just don't care to answer. But I like the idea. I think it's a good idea. And I don't know how that would benefit other people, but I know how it would benefit me. Maybe other people like making scrap food too, you know? I also feel like that's just like a part of like my growing up. I'm just used to doing that kind of stuff. So I got good at it, you know? Oh, goodness. You know what I was wondering just now? Is, can you make your own salt? Like, it's just a rock, right? So you just need to find it and dig it up and break it apart, right? What are peppercorns then? Why don't I know? Let's research it. What are peppercorns? What are? It's hot in here. I'm dying right now. I have the heat way too high. It says made of. Yeah, that's what I want. Piper nigerium. Piper nigerium. It's a tiny fruit. Oh, they each only have one seed, kind of like a choke cherry. Yeah. Look at the choke cherry. That's so cute. Peppercorns are little berries, but they're kind of spicy. Kind of spicy. Like, not really. Like, I don't think peppercorn's spicy, but... Oh, hello. Maybe get a pickaxe. Yeah. For the salt. Just gotta go figure it out, you know? Fuck the government. I don't need them and their corporations feeding me their dirty salt. Yeah, or like grind seeds. If you think about it though, like, that's like a salad when you put like sunflower seeds on top. Right? No, because, yeah. Mm-hmm. I am. Exactly. You know, though, I think it's funny because people will be all like, especially here in America, I feel like, they'll like, oh, I love, like, authentic food, da-da-da, and then they learn how it's made, and they're like, that's so gross. And I'm like, should have tried it first before you learned, because then you wouldn't have cared. Because it's really, really good. Like, really good, normally. Everything, like chicken feet, fucking love chicken feet. And I don't know how many people I know that I've tried to get to, like, try it, can't even put it in their mouth. Like, they just can't. And I'm just like, that's weird. That's weird to me. Like, I don't know, you're willing to eat octopus, though? Like, okay. Weirdos. I'm the weird one. They're pretty good. I like the sauce ones more than, like, just the plain, because it's kind of like a gelatinous-y. It's like the really fatty part of bacon, but, like, more, like, smooth and, like, creamy. You gotta be careful of the bones, of course, but eating part of the chicken, I feel like you gotta be careful of the bones, so. What's your, like, favorite, like, weird thing, right? Not actually weird, just, like, socially, like, people, or what is it? What are they called? Stereotypically, like, gross or weird food. I don't think I'm making you hungry. I think I'm reminding you that you're hungry because you're seeing me eat and talk about food. You haven't been. I didn't recognize your name, Avocado Fluffy. I like that. Well, if you like flavorful food, Nigerian food, Indian food, Mexican, any type of Latin food. But not like Mexican American, not like that. I say I really like Chinese and Korean and Japanese cuisine, but all for different reasons. But one day, if you live close to a place that can provide that, right? Like I feel pretty privileged to moved somewhere that provided me the ability to try some of them, even if they were like not traditional food, but like mixed, like what is that when it's like two cuisines mixed together, or like white people, it's just when like they don't have the flavoring. I remember this one time, I have a friend who really loves noodle soup. Like, noodles and soup together, favorite thing. It doesn't matter where it comes from, it doesn't matter what's in it, loves it. Has, of course, like, the top rated, I think, pho and something else. Can't remember. Anyways, took me to this place, we're sitting down, and we're gonna get it to go. So we're like sitting standing. And we're like, we don't want you to think we're gonna stay, so don't bring like waters. And when the guy came over, we had already been looking at the menu for a minute and decided what we wanted. And they ordered, and they were just getting pho, whatever. And I wanted to try this thing that they had. It was down the list. It was like 13B something. For like people who couldn't say the name. I didn't want to butcher it, right? And I told him, and he was like, oh no. I was like, what? And he's like, what do you want? And I was like, this one. He's like, that one? And I was like, yes. And he's like, this one is that one. And I was like, yep, I want that. And he was like, no. I was like, what? He's like, pick something else. I was like, what do you mean? No, I want that. And he's like, you're not gonna like it. And I was like, I'm gonna like it, buddy. Like, I know how white I am, and I understand that. But, like, I get that you don't want a bad review because someone would buy something, but like you gotta trust me a little bit. I feel bad because I could only imagine how many times that's happened to him that he's like so confident in that. But it was really good soup. I left the soup. I left a review. I was like, the guy really didn't want me to buy it, but it was really good. It was so fucking good. Oh, it's the best soup. I think about that soup all the time, and I need to go back, and I need to go and eat that soup again, because it was so fucking good. It was so good. It was so good. Okay. Hybrid. I like that was the choice. Fusion. Fusion food. Yeah, when two cuisines come together, it's fusion. I do, yeah. I think my favorite is udon noodles, but I really do like ramen and soba noodles too. I haven't tried a lot of like glass noodles or rice noodles, but I'm willing to, so. I know, no, seriously. I'm like, fuck, why? Here's the thing, too. I was hungover, so, like, this really cured, like, something deep down in my body needed. All the nutrients felt like it just came right back. Oh, it was blood sausage. That was in the soup. There was blood sausage in there, and I had actually just recently tried some blood sausage, and I was like, okay, I know I'm gonna like this, because really the only difference is, like, it's not meat, it's like more like bouncy, like tofu, and the flavor is dependent on, like, I think how fresh and where it comes from. But I think it was pork, so I was excited. I was like, yeah, I want that. It was so good. I am just still thinking about it right now. Like, I ate it so, I am not, like, I got a tiny tummy, liquids fill up a lot, and so do breads, and so, you know, those two things I gotta be careful with. But the soup, I fucking downed so much of it, and I was like, oh my god. Like, you know when you're just, like, still eating, you're like, I just need more. Like, is there more soup, please? And you're like, but your stomach's way out here. Yeah. You should try the legendary soup. Except for I have no idea where this legendary soup is. So, well, I know, like, the town. It's in Portland, Oregon. But I don't know where. You know, like, I can't give you directions. All I know is it was a soup house, okay? So, go find your soup house. It's there. It's delicious. There's a lot of soup houses, though. I think a couple of them shut down through COVID, though. Because there was, like, this one that everyone was, like, telling me I needed to go and, like, try. And then, like, I had forgotten, and, like, a year passed during COVID, and I, like, went to go see if they were there. They were. And then it said permanently closed on the thing. I was like, well, they were there. Close. I got to see the pictures on the review. One legendary soup, Portland, Oregon. I believe in you. You got this. I'm your biggest cheerleader right now because if you find it, I find it. And we are in a team right now because I provided information and then you'll provide me information. You know what, though? I think the funny part about this is I think it would be faster for me to look because I probably know the general area it's into, but I have to, like, on maps, you know, you, like, find that location, you know, you're like, okay, I know I'm here, and I remember from there it was, like, around in here. That's, like, how I would probably do it, and then just, like, Google the area of, like, noodle houses, soup houses, I don't know. Oh, well, that puts a little bit of distance for sure. I'm a lot closer. I'm a lot closer than you. But what a great way to get to know the U.S. by their soup houses, you know? Then you always know where to go to eat. I hate when people slam doors at night. It's only 5. Shut the front door. Nah. I was about to be an old lady. I don't like it when there's loud noises outside at night. It's only 5 o'clock. No. No, I did not. I don't like it. I'm just a scared little turtle in this big ocean pond. Not even like a sea turtle. I'm like one of those miniature ones. You know, when I was young, I worked somewhere where they were giving names to everyone, like what was their animal, like what would they be if they were like an animal. And our manager was doing it, and he was like telling what he thought everyone would be, and everyone was like, oh yeah, or like no, and like they were kind of like disagreeing. Well, I came late into the conversation, and apparently they had already decided what I was, but I only say that in the sense that when I asked, everyone was gone. They walked away, and my manager was the last person there, and he stood smiling at me. He's like, you would be a duck. He's like, no, not just any duck, like a duckling. And I'm like, oh. And he's like, you're just so damageable. And I'm like, thanks. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I won't forget that. He's a wonderful person. I know that conversation doesn't make it sound like him, but he was a great person. I tried smoking cigarettes, like while I was in college running for like a team too, for a sport. I was trying to smoke cigarettes, and he was like, what are you doing with that? And I'm like, I'm smoking. And he's like, no you're not. Look at the way you're holding it. I'm like, what? This is totally shit on me for it, and like socially forced it out of my hand, which is great. Honestly, I don't need to smoke. No one does. That stuff's really bad for you. It's just another habit you have to pay for to survive. You should get rid of those as much as physically possible. I think that's my groceries. Hello.
And you can see the chair.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day. Busy. Okay, my groceries are here, so we gotta put them away. But before we do that, because I can like put hands, right? People do that. Look at this. Look at this. What's happening? You were just up in something, bud. It's been falling out all day. It's fine. Okay. It's 1 a.m. there? Oh my goodness. I've been trying not to stay up that late every night, but that's where I'm at too, truthfully. I'm glad I'm not alone. It makes me feel very human and very normalized when I hear people like struggling to go to bed too. I'm like, it's like 2. Why am I not like in bed, like blink? I'm like, you know, Jesus fucking Christ, not been on my phone for a whole 2 minutes. Should be asleep. My retention span has gone since TikTok. It's been real rough. I even took a sabbatical from TikTok to try and get better. It did not help. I just went to Instagram. They are brownies. They are. I've been craving brownies for weeks. And this is going to taste so good. Yeah. How many can I have? All of them. That's what I thought. 2 brownies. That's a serving size. And 2 servings is 170 calories. There's some fiber in here though. And 1 thing of protein. That's a healthy brownie. I wanted to die happy, that's all. I'm sorry. But you should get some brownies. These are my favorite kind, these little bites. Look at them. They're so perfect. I found them in Canada, actually. Well, I was introduced to them in Canada, actually. I've seen bite-sized things like that before, but specifically the round cup ones. They're just so creamy. I love it. Creamy. I don't know why, but that reminds me of this TV show. And for a while, my friends and I at the time were like really into like saying this, like saying of the TV show over and over again. It's like a wraparound. Gonna do another wraparound. It's like wraparound, but just like really muffled, super drunken. Brownies are your favorite food too? Okay, brownies and cheesecake. Those are my top sweets. But ice cream, here's the thing. Ice cream would be if it's made right. I made ice cream for over 2 years. 2 years and like 3 months, but still, over 2 years I made ice cream where for my job, 40 hours a week, sometimes overtime, I would stand in front of an ice cream machine going, shh, making ice cream sandwiches. Okay? 8 to 14 times a day, I would have to minimally, and trust me, if it was my favorite flavor, I was doing it more often, test the ice cream to make sure that it was being made well. You want it to be sweet and smooth, not icy and chunky, you know? And sometimes you can tell with the look. And so like if you start noticing it, you like check it. So you're checking it more than the minimum amount, because the minimum amount is just to make sure that the base is coming through the right flavor. No one fucked up the flavor, right? Because we put stickers on them. We have to handwrite sticker vanilla. And you can kind of tell, but sometimes you couldn't tell. Like, there's some flavors that are really close. You're like, which one's which? And you're like, thank God this person has good handwriting. Because if they didn't, I would just take one and go with it. No, that's joking. You would always triple check and find someone. Yeah, that was a joke. Oh, yeah. It was amazing. You know, they taught us how to, like, taste test ice cream. Like, a couple people went to a seminar and then came back from that seminar and taught us what they learned at the seminar. It's great information, actually, and I loved every second of it, and I really soaked it up. So I remember, like, there's, like, the way you taste the ice cream, what makes ice cream icy, how to prevent icy ice cream. Like, I know those things. And you're gonna be really surprised by this, but, like, you know, like, the ice creams in the store and you, like, eat it and it's, like, not good. That's not because the brand is bad or because they're making worse ice cream. It's because it's really hard as ice cream companies get big to produce an ice cream that doesn't touch the melting factor. And that is just the moment in which the aerated ice cream, right, the aerated mixture of ice that makes ice cream is aerated and frozen. So it's like kind of created this bubble of air and milk and yumminess, and there's many of those to make the big ice cream, right? And when it melts, those bubbles pop. And then, like, that's liquid, like, right? And here's another bubble pop. And then those refreeze. And now it's kind of like this jagged, harmful, like, feel. It's like, that's like cat tongue you get sometimes, right? That's real bad. That's happened. That has happened, means the ice cream melted just a little bit, refroze. Melted just a little bit, refroze. Melted just a little bit, refroze. And that happened multiple times, over multiple times. And that's why the ice cream tastes bad now. Even if, like, if you'd be like, oh, it's normally good, it's because something happened in transit, and you can't control that from batch to batch very well after you get to a certain size, because ice cream's ice cream, it's gonna melt, and you just can't guarantee good handling the more and more you have to put in between. And trust me, you have to do that because you're gonna need more freezer space, which means your freezer space can no longer be where you're producing the ice cream anymore, which means you're producing ice cream, having a mini freezer space right before it's going to be put into a freezer truck to go to a bigger freezer space where it's going to wait to be put into another freezer truck to be put into, hopefully, the freezer that's going to be where it's sold. But sometimes that doesn't happen either. It has to go somewhere else with another storage place where then it's distributed again, maybe on an airplane or something like that. And so every single time the door is opened or closed, that freezing point becomes a possibility. And I don't know why I just threw all that at you. But I love ice cream. And so fresh, homemade ice cream right that day, immediately after it's made, almost. I went to Barcelona, and everyone told me that their ice cream was the best there. And like, I went to some touristy places where I knew they were probably making the ice cream throughout the day. It was so smooth, like melting bunny fur, like the way bunny fur feels on your finger, but like melting on your tongue. Like, God, it was so good. I'm sorry about the food, Jesus. I just like food. Who doesn't love food? So you gotta start tasting, become a food taster. Actually, did you know you can't smoke ever to become a food taster? I'm pretty sure I looked into it, and that was like a requirement. You could have never smoked. You can't. And if you think, oh, I'll just tell them that I've never smoked, you can be checked for that. You actually create scar damage in the back of your throat. So all anyone would have to do is stick a light in there and ask you to open up. And if it looked scarred, you've smoked before. And the reason is because it affects your nose and your tongue, and so you can't taste things as good. And they want people who have really good. Not that I've ever wanted to do that before. Not me getting an ice cream shop where I did that. Okay. Aw, B. Dang. I'm sorry you're having to go through that right now. I know how it feels to like have the need or feel like it's the only way to like get better in your dietary eating habits. Trust me. I am on the opposite end of everything from what you're probably experiencing, but yeah, I understand. And I wish you luck. I know how difficult that can be, but I'm here for you. In spirit, because I can't physically be there, but you know what I mean. Yeah, no. Should I just go on TED Talk and be like the girl who talks about anything and everything, almost knows stuff but not fully, generally understands it but not completely, is mostly right but only generically. You know, I always used to tell people, I'm like, I'm always right. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right. And I was just thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, actually, I'm just like a really good bullshitter, and I think people trust me. And on top of that, I know a lot of like random information that seems outlandish that is true. And so like by the time I use that on someone where like I know it's something but not all the way, and it seems kind of outlandish, it's after multiple times of having to, like, I proved myself. I was like, oh, no, that's real. Google it right now. And then they would, and they'd be like, oh. And then, like, after this, sometimes they give up because they're like, I don't need to keep looking into this because clearly you're doing that. It's great. It's great. I love your vibe. Thanks for coming in. I really do enjoy Twitch for the fact of commenting. I don't like TikTok for that. It just goes by so fast, and there's so I can't. Oh, it's too much. But like Twitch, I feel like is so nice to have your setup for the chat like right next to you, where you can watch your video on a separate container in which that you're actually recording. And it just gives you a lot more. And I think you can do that with TikTok, but you have to be like at a certain level. And I just don't understand that. Like, what do you mean to do this? And I think it's, they just probably don't have the server space for it, nor like the finances for the server space. That's got to be like that has to be it. I haven't looked into the finances of TikTok because I am still kind of learning how to do that. I actually have some homework I gotta do for myself for investing and like learning how to like look at businesses and stuff. But I could imagine that financially they're probably extremely reliant on like continuous income through like the things that they're doing, and are probably trying to not spend anything extra. Yeah. Okay. I need to put these groceries away, so come with me. Let's go this way. Okay. Oop. Alright. I know it looks kind of funky right now, but I promise it's just because I'm painting. Like, I'll show you guys. See, painting these. You can see how it's not done. I gotta do the inside. I just haven't wanted to move this to do that. Look how crispy that line is, though, even though I didn't. I wish, but I'm not. I want it to be filled in. But see, here down at the bottom, you can see I'm still painting. This needs to be finished. Well, yeah. This way, camera. It's the cameraman, I swear. You need to buy a new one. See? And I'm sanding right now in this section. I'm doing that all over. That's why it's like that. Yes, I'm wearing shorts. No, I'm not gonna prove it. What am I doing? Groceries! Okay. I don't have my contacts in, so I can't even see me, and I can't see what you're saying. So you will have to wait until I get done doing this to be able to communicate with you more. Mango chunks. I love mango. Yes. Okay. Supervise! I know you guys are probably like, you're the one that bought it, silly. I'm not. But thanks. I appreciate the assumption. Ow! Papa! Oh yeah! I gotta take out my recycling and trash. You guys have to do that? I ever recognize that, like, some people are just like, I just do this when I do it. Like, they'll, take out the trash or do, like, cleaning or anything like that. And I'm just like, okay, I get that. But, like, what if you're someone like me and you're sitting here doing your normal stuff like everyone else, but somehow you continuously forget but when to do necessary things like brush your teeth or wash your face or take out the trash or sleep. And so I realized to fix this, all I really have to do is to keep telling myself I'm going to do that next every time I see it. And I do it a lot faster now. Like, so much faster. I don't know what took me so long to figure that out. I love popsicles. I don't need as much sugar, but Actually, I probably do need it. I always say that to myself because I feel bad. And I don't understand why, out of all people, like, I feel guilty about eating sweets. But I'm pretty sure it came from a consistent night of always hearing my mom say, "But should I eat that?" And having to sneak sweets. That was always the funniest thing. Is sneaking sweets as a kid, especially when it was like your mom who was like endorsing the sneaking of the food of the sweets. As long as they don't find out, that's the rule. But once you find out, you're caught. Okay. I'm actually not gonna use these for painting, so I'm gonna leave this out. Now, I could have food prep. I do need to cut those apples and stuff. I should have got a lemon. Lemon smart. Whoa. 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 Okay, let's see what you have been saying. Thank you. I'm trying to do some baby touch-ups on it. I have a pretty good plan. Idea plan. Thought up. And I just need to produce a like a presentation about it. What am I doing next? That's the question. Okay. I really should continue painting. Here's a B on painting though. It's not much fun to like sit here without music and paint. Like I like I've been listening to a quantum book. Oh, I think I said that already. And play a game. What kind of game are you talking about? A game of life. I do want to finish that book though. I've been reading this quantum book. Quantum Debate of Dorer and Einstein. It's been really good. I like it a lot. And I want to know what's more. Actually, I thought it was only 2 hours. I'd like 2.5 hours into it, but I was like actually 5. I was like, damn. That explains why there's like a lot of stuff in my head, and I was feeling like there's just so many thoughts that like it gets so into like each person's life and like what they're doing and why they're doing it and like how they got like what they did to get there like specifically. And I just like learned things about Einstein that I just like alright, goddamn Einstein. He was like super young, even though he wasn't smart enough to like pass like a uni test to get into a college or whatever, or a school. I don't even think it was a college. I think it was like it was a college. He didn't have his high school degree yet, right? Or he didn't finish like his elementary schooling or something, and he was trying to get into a school, and all he had to do was pass the tests, and he passed some of them, but not like the basic ones like reading and writing and stuff like that. And so like they were like, you need to go back and finish that so you can do this. And he but he like was doing it in Germany, and he really hated the school, and he convinced his parents to let him leave and like live with them so he could try and get into this school. When he didn't, he went back to school somewhere else and was able to get in after that. And I just think that's crazy. Like, he was so young. He just decided. I don't know. I think, like, the insane thing to me is, like, I feel like I went so long just never being able to make any choices for myself. Never being allowed to. Like, even if I wanted to, it wouldn't matter. And so I just, like, gave up for so long, even trying. It just wasn't even worth trying, dreaming what I would do. I'm glad I'm not like that no more. Well, I'm glad I'm not in that situation no more, but it's weird. It's weird moving out of it, you know? I like your face. Alright, what do I need to do? Oh, yeah, I can't stream with music on because then I can't, like, record it and post it, like, later and have people have stuff to see that I've been active in what I've been doing. Because then they mute it, and then no one wants to look at it. Why would you want to watch a video with muted sound? Like, that's ridiculous. And on top of that, I feel like most people don't really want to re-listen to something that doesn't have background music. Like, I'm talking about, like, attention spans here, right? People are just so overwhelmed with sound these days that, like, the absence of sound freaks people out. It freaks me out sometimes. That's why you should go into nature, truthfully, because you need to, like, kind of recalibrate yourself to that a little bit. People hang on to that better than the overstimulation stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really hoping to go hiking this weekend with a friend. I really need to get out there and be in the sun and stuff. I've been really stuck up in the in here because for the last month I've been, like, hardcore job searching, where, like, I'm, like, sitting there, like, typing out what are those, like, letters, the front note letters or whatever, and then I have one friend. I've been using ChatGPT. You guys should be using ChatGPT, honestly. I need to, like, play with it more and have fun with it more, because, like, literally my blind best friend just created, like, ChatGPT, like, AI generated, like, pictures of people camping, and they're beautiful. I love them. I'm going to steal that art and make it my own somehow. I'm joking. That's a joke. But sincerely, like, it kind of gave me, like, a little inspiration for some pictures I want to do and stuff like that. So, I don't know. And, like, it totally helped me with my cover letter. Like, it made it look way better than I thought, than I had ever made a cover letter look. Like, and I understand words, but using them is, like, a lot different, I'm realizing. And, I'm mostly learning that because I'm trying to learn Spanish. I haven't done anything today. A fancy game of I Spy? Okay, well, considering I can't see where you're at, I'm assuming we're doing it based on what you can see in the camera. It has to be. Okay. You want to go first? A 3-minute. Oh my gosh, we're getting serious. This is serious I Spy. This is the most serious I Spy I've ever played in my entire life. Yeah, let me get a I'm gonna get a timer. I'm gonna time this. We'll start it every single time. There we go. Clock needs an update. We're getting the update ready for you. What do you mean clock needs an update? Something beginning with E. My camera? It's something within stream beat. Okay, well, what do I get to ask questions, right? Like, that's like the part of it is like I gotta be like, is it. Oh, but I get infinite guesses. Okay. And then you got questions and you had to figure it out by that. I don't think I ever played I Spy correctly. Alright. Is it the electrical outlet? Can you even see that from me? What are these things called? I feel like it might have to be some of those. I'm trying to think of E words. Energy? I don't see anything here that reminds me of any E words. I keep thinking couch. Like, starts with a C. I don't know. I give up. Tell me. E words. Beginning with E. Eyeball. That's all I got. If it's not that, I don't know. Electric wristband. Eyelash. Oh my gosh. I was like thinking of everything around me. I didn't think about myself until like the last second. I was like, oh yeah, I have eyeballs. Eyelash. That's funny. Eyebrow. That would have been one too. See, I don't know. Test care me. I get freaked out. Okay, panic attack. I try. Oh, fuck, dude. What am I gonna do? I should paint. It's kind of hot in here. I'm kind of like not feeling it. But I should. Well, I should sand. Okay. I think I'm gonna get off. I like want to stay on longer because like I want to stream, but like I know I need to like sand and stuff, and I'm not gonna do that in stream because it's just like and you can't hear me talking and it's not fun. It's not fun for you, it's not fun for me. I would not. No. But I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, what's a question? I know what a question is, but what's your question? I feel like I look so pale. Look at me. Look me in the eye and tell me. Oh, that's creepy. Do you see like the light? It's like in the inside of my pupil. I feel like the hypnotoad. Okay. That's a really deep question. It's not like something. I'm going to put it extremely simple, and you're not going to like it, but it's what I believe is true. I think, yeah, we all have a purpose. Nothing is random. Not a single thing. That's what I believe. But I think most people would think I'm crazy if I told them what I believed. So, keep it simple. I know most people would disagree with me. Like, even people who are faithful have a religion. I think even the majority of those people would say that not all of us have a purpose, or that not everything has place. That it's all like all random. I think it's funny. Because like I'm pretty sure religion specifically says that it's not. But like everything is created in the image of God. I think almost every single religious text says that. I mean, shit, science says that, so. I don't know. Go check out my quantum stuff I've been talking about on YouTube and whatnot. Because sometimes you feel spiritual. That's funny. I like the way you said that. It's not funny because I'm making fun of you, by the way. Like, it's just one of those things where I can understand for how you're perceiving it, right? Because, like, I was once in the same space, the same mentality. And I remember having the same thoughts. Like, I was like, I don't believe anything, but sometimes I just, like, there's, like, this thing. How can sometimes there be a thing? That would mean everything always would have to be random, which would mean none of us have meaning. Which would mean that there would be nothing in control. Which would mean that everyone should receive uncalculable futures, essentially. Like everyone would have a life in which there was no way for them to predict the outcome. But people do that all the time. And I think people call those self-fulfilling prophecies. But what was I saying? That's not how that's not the full picture, right? That's like a chunk. That's like your perspective in the now more than it is the perspective of the long haul. So it's like leaving out a piece of the story. Anyways. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get off. And I'm gonna sand these trimmings. I hope you have a good day. Oh, you're going to bed. I hope you have a good night. Sleep well. I'll see you guys later.